course, giving our honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakwadash, Mashanakabad, Lahazakim, Sharakadar which is giving double honor to the elder apostle, great millstone, rule well, teach well. And just getting right into it, just various topics before camp. Just going to be going into a couple precepts that I got lined up. Just getting right into it. This is Acts chapter 14 and verse 22. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them. Actually, let's start up because this is a beautiful precept, right? Let's start at verse 20. This is our job. This is what we're supposed to be doing. It says, howbeit, as the disciples stood around about him, he rose up and came unto the city. And the next, and the next day, he departed. Let me just do 20. Let me see 21. It says, and when they had preached the gospel to that city, just like in the ancient times we do today, go on the highways and byways, travel to teach on the highways and byways, give visitations from other cities to come to your church, and then they teach, same thing that was going on in the ancient times with our forefathers. It says, and had taught many, they returned again to Lystra and to Iconium and to Antioch. And it says, confirming the souls of the disciples, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. Because once again, this is this fishing hook that we use to pull in the elect, or those pull in those that will hearken to you. How about Shemel Shah? It's not ours. It was given to us. It's not of us if we pull into this thing. It's of the Lord. But we do the Lord's bidding. We doing the Lord's work. Right? One of the works. It says confirming the souls of the disciples. So the disciples coming in, being confirmed. You got men coming in being marked for judgment. You got men coming in being marked as a tawa, being exempt from judgment. It says, and exhorting them to continue in the faith, right? Exhortation, just like we do today. Keeping them motivated, keeping them fired up about this word. To the extent of causing them to teach. It says and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Shemel Shai, right? And it's not going to be an easy drive through getting to the kingdom. We seen that in the ancient times. Our forefathers, we had to die, man. We've died. We've been through trials, and I'm not just talking about this life. We've been Hebrews before. We've been in captivity before. This is Matthew chapter 25 and verse 34. Because once again, it's not going to be an easy drive getting into the kingdom. It's things that we have to go through in order to be kingdom made or to be, eligible to inherit it. It says Matthew chapter 25 and verse 34. It says, then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my Father, right? So, it is a portion that's going to be blessed of the Father that's going to be able to inherit the kingdom, that narrow path, man. A short few. Inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. From the foundation of the world. That's how long this kingdom been being prepared, man. And this is talking about the kingdom of heaven. It's not talking about the kingdom that, Joshua and Caleb entered into. It's not talking about any other kingdom or any other type of promised land that was on the earth before that the Lord caused the nation of Israel to go into. This is talking about the kingdom of heaven that they elect, the 144,000 men in the house of David are going to inherit first. It says, for I was and hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. Is going into all of the things that a prophet would be doing in these times, man. Helping his brother, when he's hungry, when he has no clothes, when he's a stranger, taking them in. These are all the things that if we do to the Lord's, man, we doing to Yahweh Shai, because we have Yahweh Shai, and every single last one of them is who doing his work, right? This is Acts chapter 17 and verse I started at 13. Well, I started at I started 10. That's where I want 10. It says, and the brethren immediately sent away Paul and Silas by night to Berea. Once again, Paul doing the Lord's work, traveling to teach, the reach, the elect, so that they can hear His word, man. And understand who the Heavenly Father is in Yahushua and what they came to do. It says, who coming hither, went into the synagogues of the Jews. It says, these were more noble than those in Thessalonia, and that they received the word with all readiness of mind, right? And this is what a man of the Lord has to have in his mind, being ready to hear him, man, and search the scriptures daily, whether those things were so, and the same thing that our fathers were doing before, going into the scriptures, reading the scriptures, precept upon precept, line upon line, reading the epistles of our forefathers. That same thing that we doing today, man. Knowledge has increased, all the way up until now, and it's still increasing, man. We living in a knowledge generation. The end of it, because pretty soon it's not going to be too much information online. Esau's about to cut that shit short, man. This is Book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 3. It says, Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. That's not what I wanted. Let me see. Ephesians chapter 1 and verse I'll start at let me see. I'll start at 16. It says sorry, I'm gonna go to the next one. Spirit, have me come back to I will. This is second Ezra, chapter 13 and verse 23. It says, He that shall endure the peril in that time have kept himself. And this is what's going to happen, man. I'm thinking of Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, words after chapter 3, where it talks about the strangeness of their salvation, man. Most people don't believe in the type of salvation and the type of power that we believe in. They just believe in what you got a couple Christians that believe in what's called the rapture, you know, but that's not, that's not the full breakdown of what's actually going to happen when Yahweh Shah comes back, man. It's going to be a lot going on. You're going to have the missiles. You're going to have the concentrated beams from the chariots. Let the scriptures say fire tempest, and no, it would say tempest, storm, and roughly paraphrasing, basically like wind, thunder, and fire mixed in those chariots, in those chariot beams. It's gonna be horrific, man. You know. But it says, he that shall, right, because the scriptures, what the scriptures say, he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. He that shall endure the peril in that time have kept himself. They that be fallen into danger are such as have works and faith toward the Almighty. Notice therefore that they which be left behind are more blessed than they that are dead. This is the so specific precept to look for. Let me see. All right. That's what I'm looking for, but I'm gonna get it. But let me see something. Okay, let's get this real quick because I didn't mention this. This is Wisdom of Solomon. Uh, let me see. Let me see. That's not. All right, this is the Book of Psalms, chapter 104 and verse 3, because once again we have mentioned those the beams of those chariots, right? Um, just for edification, it says who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, right? So the beams of his chambers, that's talking about the chariots, because once again those beams, those concentrated flaming beams, that's is going to be coming out of the mouth of those chariots, man. It's going to be coming, it's going to be shooting out of them chariots, just like how Esau be showcasing in his different movies, man. It says who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. That's that describing the what Zephaniah chapter 5 call him, or Zechariah chapter 5, the flying robe. The chariot is mentioned throughout the scriptures. You know, I want to say walketh upon the wings of the wind. That's like you know, basically like gliding upon the air. Which these vehicles don't have any they're not bound to gravity or anything like that. This is nothing like Esau's technology, right? Um, this is nothing like Esau's technology. It says who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flame of fire. That's also in Hebrews chapter 7. Making his ministers a flame, his angels a flame of fire. With hinting, we're going to be fired up for this word, man. But also, we are actually going to be able to be engulfed in flames. As we did, our forefathers did in the ancient times. More than once. That was a case of that. You know, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 11, and verse let's go with verse 24. It says, "For thou lovest all the things that are." Right, and we know that the Lord loved all the things that are, because he's about to set over one that's profitable. Cyber and 4. If the Lord hated the earth, he'll allow it to just continue. Esau to continue what he doing. These other heathens continuing, and they building up their nations, and they gaining more and more missile silos, and it just be all out disaster, man. All the way up to the point to where these fucking devils just destroy themselves in the whole earth, man, and other planets if they could. you know. But the Lord, he loves the earth, man. He wouldn't allow he wouldn't allow the whole earth to be destroyed. He's going to use, those ICBMs for judgment. It's not going to be to destroy the earth. It says, for the whole world, verse 22, for the whole world before thee is a little grain of the balance, yeah, as a drop of the morning dew that falleth down upon the earth. But thou hast mercy upon all. For thou, right, because the Lord can destroy this shit at any moment. He can destroy this in any way that he possibly wanted to, man. He can have an angel come down here and destroy this. You have, you know, the chariots and come shoot beams down and destroy it. But the Lord, he ain't gonna do that, because once again he loved it. Let's read verse 23. But thou hast mercy upon all, for thou canst do all things, and winkest at the sins of men, because they should amend. For thou lovest all things that are, and abhorrest nothing which thou hast made. For never wouldest thou have made anything if thou hadst hated it, right? And even when you think about Esau, man, the scriptures say, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. But the Lord, he is gonna have a loving purpose for the tribe of Esau, man. What's the loving purpose that these Edomites are gonna have, and the kingdom they're gonna have to build, the kingdom of for 1,000 years, man. And we're gonna love it, man. We're gonna love whipping this devil's ass and whipping his kids' ass, and ravaging and doing whatever we want with our concubines. The Lord loves. He loves everything, man. Everything has its proper use, under Yahweh Shai and the angels and the Lord's men. Everything is going to every the proper use of everything is going to be showcased in the kingdom. It says, and how could anything have endured? Right, the Lord could have wiped Esau out if he hated him, that bad. Everything has a spirit to it. We know the Lord can't destroy Himself. He wouldn't destroy himself. It's like destroying someone is like destroying himself. But you know so we know that the Lord you know like I'm thinking of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 16, like going into like how the nations can't be wiped out, because it ain't no end of the people. you know the Lord always savor on the spirit, man. Even when Esau get wiped out, his spirit is going to be savored because he's going to go into the heathen nations. He's just not going to be able to be an Edomite anymore. But he still is eligible to be a devil. And that's why it's going to be judgment still going on in the kingdom. But it's verse 25. It says, "And how could anything have endured if it had not been Thy will?" Right? It was the Lord's will that we all the way up until this point, and the earth ain't destroyed, or we all the way up until this point, and everything is playing out how it is. It's the Lord's will, man. It says, "Or been preserved, if not called by Thee, but Thou spare us all, for they are Thine, O Lord, Thou lover of souls." Right? And the Lord is the lover of souls. We got to close out with this, because when you get this let's get this Ephesians chapter 4 verse 6. So I can use a blue letter. I want to use Google. Call that Abishon Shot. It's 11:44. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 16. It says, "From whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted by the which every joint." Let me see. Okay, that's not it. Okay, it is Ephesians 4. Ecclesiastes 4 and 16 is like it. Okay, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 16. It says, "There is no end of all the people, even of that have been before them. They also that came after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is a vanity and a vexation of spirit." Right. So the point being, it ain't no end. The people don't, the nations don't end, spirits don't end. There is no end of spirit, man. Spirit is just like pure energy. When you get that word people,
Strong's H5971.
It says nation, people, nation, right? So it's really talking about a nation.
Second entry.
It says persons, members, members of people, of one's people, persons, members of one's people, compatriots, countrymen, right? Kinsmen, kindred, right? So it's talking about families. It's about the nation. You can't end the nation. The spirit is always going to be there. If you kill it, right? The scriptures does say it in the scriptures. Fear not them who can kill a body, but just kill them who do the soul and body and soul in hell, man. Now that's not talking about actual hell where you die, but that's another lesson. It says now I want to get this word in. It says
Strong's H7093. Kate's.
It says in, meaning in. It says end at the end of time, end of space, right? And what the scriptures say, Esau is the end of the world, but that doesn't mean that he's gonna end completely, because still has a job to do in the kingdom. It says extremity. Okay, well, yeah, that's pretty much on that. Why was Yahweh Shafim me spirit to the Lord's willing, this was edifying to the elect member. So next time I say Shalom, blah blah blah, Shalom.